I come back to you now at the turn of the page, I think. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xerath Prevails. Man, I'm out of it for just a little while. CG gets delusions of grandeur. They released a lot of stuff, and I wasn't able to talk about it at all while I was on vacation because I was actively trying to not get my face clawed into oblivion by the wife and other family members. But I'm back, and let's talk about this. This DATACRON set is just pure madness. I don't think I appreciate it, frankly. I've liked DATACRONs. I think this is too much. I think it's too much, but we're not here to complain, really, sometimes. But I did make an infographic, and you can find it at my Discord server. I'll show you how to get there in just a moment. First, I do want to say huge shout out to my patrons. You guys are amazing. Even as I was on vacation, you guys are amazing. And I couldn't do this without you guys. Truly could not. Thank you guys so much. And if you want to support this channel for free, folks, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, comment, mount the algorithm, guys. This particular video takes forever to create because I have to make the graphic, and then I have to make the slides, and I have to plan everything as well. It takes an insane amount of time. So if you're going to like or comment on a video this month, this would probably be the one to do it. I really appreciate it, guys. All the support, you guys are amazing. So real quick, let's go into my Discord server. Whoa, madness. We're here in my Discord server, guys, and I want to show you guys how to sign up for notifications for my infographic, any infographics that I've released, and how to get to the infographic that I am going to publish. So join the Discord server. The link is found in your video description, and then make your way to information and roles. You'll start in this welcome thing, and then click on information and roles. You can read the rules, and then here there's like this list of different emotes or reactions that you can have to the post here. And right here, the other notifications, you can see I have infographics, and then my buddy SoloBase does an infographic for DATACRONs as well. We are usually pretty closely aligned, but he does have a different take sometimes, so check out that as well. All you have to do, guys, we don't tag anyone on our Discord server, even though it's a kind of big server. We don't tag anyone on it unless they sign up for it. So, just click on this little hype button here, and you'll get notified once I've released it. And then all you have to do is you scroll down, it's pretty far down, and find infographics. Click on it, and you can see here's DATACRON set 15. I've made an infographic that's what we're talking about, 16 right now. See, there's 14, and then I do other infographics as well. I'll probably be redoing this Omicron ranking infographic, for instance, pretty soon. But let's talk about the actual DATACRON set here, folks. So just real quick, let's talk about the infographic, if I can find that right. Oh, whoa, we're in the infographic madness. So yeah, you can see I've outlined what the level 3, 6, and 9 are, then the stats. I think this should be pretty self-explanatory. The thing about this set is, man, we want so many crons. We want so many DATACRONs, and it's so difficult to predict because there's so many variables, because it touches every single character this time, folks. It's not just stats that it touches. It like the mechanics are all over the place, and so this is my best bet on what we're going to need initially. I would stay tuned for some kind of an update, though, and there's all kinds of stuff. In fact, let's get into the actual discussion here. So this set is just pure madness, guys. It just is. There's lots of reasons. First off, it's not by faction anymore. We used to have individual factions on here, and I'm hoping we'll go back to that. But right now, we're doing archetypes, or whatever they're called, classes. So support, tank, healer, and attacker, they've been around forever. There's not many healers in this game still, but there are plenty of the other ones. There's also level 9s are different this set. So there was 16 level 9 tunes that you could target, and they were, you know, distributed amongst 4 different factions. In set 15, there were 16. There was actually 17 if you count the pay-to-win Omicron, or sorry, Datacron that you could get for the Kenobi, you know, the Padawan Kenobi. So that was 17, and then there's 21 on this one, guys, and they are spread out throughout all the different factions because they all touch the 4 different archetypes, so they're all over the place. And there's actually 22 once you also add in the Knight guy, the Knight Stalker. I don't remember what he's called. Night Trooper? There we go, Night Trooper. So, there's a lot more level 9s that we could target, and most of them are pretty good, but they're all over the place, guys. They're all over the place. We kind of want all of them, but we can't have all of them, frankly. There's also... this is something that we haven't been able to interact with that much yet, but I think this is going to be fairly frustrating. Now, instead of just level 6 and level 3 having multiple options to be able for each individual thing, instead of just having multiple options in 3 and 6. In 9 now, if you get a character's Datacron, you might not end up with the one that you want, with the mechanics that you want, which makes it way more difficult to get the level 9 that you want. You can see that Cup has 3 of his own, and this is going to make it very challenging to get the level 9s that we want, guys. I'm fairly frustrated with this. I think this is going to be awful. Unless CG opens some way to be able to get more of the Mark III rerolls. Like, it was already bad. Now it's horrible. Like, the price you pay to be able to reroll to get the mechanics that you want for level 9, I think it's an awful thing. I think CG should somehow fix this, guys. I feel like this is one of the most shameless things, and I haven't heard a lot of complaints about it yet, but that's because I've been on vacation, and you know, my parents don't play this game. So let's see, several new confusing things that might be a bug as well, folks. So they changed, I hope this will be changed for the level 3 mechanic, like the little icon for it. Dark side and light side have been swapped, and that's going to be really confusing, for me at least, because I rely on those to be able to tell what's light and dark. Also, in the level 6, and also the level 4 and 5, it's half price to be able to reroll these, which is nice. It's kind of like, oh, CG's trying to, because we have to spend more for the Mark IIIs to be able to get what we want on level 9s, maybe CG is like giving us a discount on level 6. My guess is that they didn't intend to do this, and that it's a mistake. They're going to fix it, and they're going to keep the really dumb level 9 reroll thing intact as well. But you can see it is half price. Yay. I don't know if it goes up to 80s or not, or if it just goes to 40s. I haven't been able to roll them up to that point yet, but it's exciting time. I mean, this means also, folks, that you're going to want to roll up to level 9, get the level 9 you want, hopefully, and then go back down and get your half price level 6s. Alright? So go do that. And then also, once you get to level 9, you can still roll, and this is just, I mean, it makes kind of sense logically, because all of the different sets, all of the different factions, so to speak, are, you know, they transcend light and dark, and so you can reroll for light and dark. The problem is, and this is another shameless thing the CG did, was they made light side and dark side both different, and so if you want a particular level 3, you're gonna have to reroll a whole heck of a lot more, because there are 10 options now that you could roll instead of just 5. And so even if none of them are weighted, which I'm sure some of them are, but even if they aren't weighted, you're gonna have to roll the level 3 multiple times. It's very frustrating, guys. All the things frustrating for me. Okay. So let's move on. Let's stop talking about how annoyed I am and talk about stats. Defense stats are back in. This is an extremely strong stat that you would do very well not to ignore. You'd almost be better off ignoring all of the mechanics. Well, you wouldn't, but you almost would, and just going for straight percent defense. It's an amazing stat, really strong. There are going to be specific targeted instances where you're going to want health or percentage, or protection percentage. Health or percentage, you can't have both. Health percentage or protection percentage. Instead of defense, for instance, you might want more health on a Malgus team because he does more damage based on how much base health he has, and he already has a lot of defense anyways. But even the DATACRONs, even the ones that you're going full offense on, you're still probably gonna want the defense percentage, because you can get extra damage from crit damage, the special damage, and physical damage, but it's all spread around. Like, special damage and physical damage is just a way to say F you to the people who want to roll a bunch of offense, because the entire squad isn't usually going to be able to use all physical damage or all special damage. So anyways, I think at the end of the day, defense is going to be the superior stat. Now, level 6 is where the real power is. Yes, the level... there are a few really strong level 9s. I'm not denying that. But level 6, for the most part, is where we're going to get. And so, in the infographic, I use the phrase words a lot. And what that means is they use extra words for the good mechanics on each of these level 6s. That's been the case for a long time, but, and it's not unilaterally across the board, unanimously the best, but for the most part, you're going to want the one that's more wordy, the ones that have multiple paragraphs or at least sentences to describe the mechanic that you're going for. So you're going to want those. They're all really good. They're all very, very strong. So let's talk about the support faction first off. And so you're probably going to benefit more from having more people in that faction that were support. So a few options potentially, like the trench team with Watt. I happened to roll the really good level 9 from Watt on my first roll, so yay for me. But there's 3 supports on that team, including Trench and Newt and Watt. So you're going to benefit from all 3 of those, having the really good stuff. The Rogue One, they only have 2 supports, but because it's Adrad who has one of them, I think that's what you're gonna want. At the end of the day, obviously I put this on all my slides, but there's no guarantees that these are the final splits. These are just things that I'm mentioning, and then there's actually one deviation at least that you're going to want to, instead of getting the wordy level 6 for troopers, like you can get a crazy amount of turn meter. There are 4 in the example that I've given here. There are 4 different support characters that benefit from this and interact with this. So the support, whenever support allies grant a buff to another ally, that ally gains 10% turn meter. So it's limit once per turn per ally, but considering the fact that Piet, every turn someone goes, he's handing out a buff to everyone, they're going to have a crazy amount of turn meter. They're just going to have a ton. And it's cool. I don't know where we're going to use it. Who even knows, man? Our troopers are going to be overpowered and we're not going to use them? That's also very possible, at least in the upper echelons of Kyber. So tanks, this one was really interesting. I missed one of the things here, guys. So Gar is really interesting because, you know, he has the interaction with Imperial Super Commando where they shoot it, like one shoots and another shoots and then another shoots, and they kind of feed off of each other. They do a lot of out of turn damage. And this one, because Gar is a tank technically, even though he doesn't have a taunt usually, unless someone has a mechanic to assign it, like Watt or something. Otherwise, whenever, let's see, where does it say it? they assist whenever allies use a special ability. So he's going to, because he's a tank, he's going to assist, and then ISC is going to assist as well, and it's going to be madness. And that's going to be really interesting. Also, Leia is a tank, technically, and so if Stormtrooper Han looks really strong here, guys. He really does. Even though, remember that his mechanic that gives his team a bunch of turn meter only works when he specifically uses his taunt. It's not just a random taunt that he gets from Datacron mechanics. It's specifically his taunt that is going to work on, but it's still, he still does a lot of really cool stuff. I'm really interested to see what his interaction with Leia is, especially because she'll be taunting as well, and they'll be doing a whole bunch of extra damage as long as Stormtrooper Han is alive, so you want to keep him alive. So roll a bunch of defense for him, and don't throw them at probably at least don't throw them at the Jedi Master Kenobi team. And then Malgus, guys. So this one was an interesting one. I don't know for sure if this is going to be the case, but well, I know that this for sure that it does give you more damage. If you give him, instead of the tank cron, if you give him the grit level 6 on Malgus, then he turns all of his protection into health, which then goes in to add an additional, I don't know, I think 50,000 damage per big hit that he does, which is a substantial amount. It's pretty nice. So we'll see if that ends up being really effective. But in the age of everyone having a ton of defense stats, having him do true damage and adding a ton of extra damage to that big hit every time seems very appealing to me. Healers are interesting. The thing that I can't stop focusing on is every time they heal someone, they reduce that person's cooldowns by 1. And so I don't know if Barriss does this. Someone was saying yes, someone was saying no. I haven't seen a proper test yet, but every time she passively heals someone, I think there's a potential for her to reduce people's cooldowns just passively, which means people can just use their specials all the time. Very similar to how Chopper does that passively on a Phoenix team. And then, on a Rey team, because a Consular doesn't want to be with Jedi. He doesn't revive Jedi. For whatever reason, he's like, you know what, those guys are all tools. I'm just going to revive other people. That's fine. It's like someone who hates the people, members of his church, but still wants to spread the word or something. I don't know why I brought religion into this. It's weird. But there's also the possibility, I don't think this is going to be good, but the Starkiller team could have like 2 healers in it and reduce cooldowns, so the Starkiller is just spamming his tire shot. I don't know if that's going to work, but it seems interesting. There's going to be a lot of combos like that no one sees coming until you just get destroyed by it, and then we can all collectively learn. So I'm very interested to see in a couple weeks what people are going to start using. For attackers, this is the one you want to spam, guys. If you want to get a bunch of Datacrons and a lot of things, you're like, I don't know what I want. I want to make sure I get enough stuff so that I can be flexible and versatile. Most teams have attackers on them, and you're going to benefit at least slightly from getting the level 6 attacker, the wordy attacker level 6. It's the strongest of the bunch, as per usual, and it's really good. A few examples of teams that are going to really love it. Maybe Grievous, if you get him a bunch of health on the Cron. Commander Luke probably loves it because there's 4 attackers on the squad itself. I don't know where Sabine's going to go, but her level 9 is fantastic, guys. It's really strong. She just takes a turn every time your opponent takes a turn. So you don't have to give her speed. She just takes a bonus turn every time. Just bonus turn, bonus turn. She can really get things going. It's really going to be cool. And then, of course, I'm being facetious about, will Bane ever be good again now that his Datacron is gone? Of course, he'll still be really stupidly strong. He just won't be... It'll be 80% overpowered instead of 90%. So how do you choose? First off, guys, if you're only going to get a limited number of Datacrons, get them for your Galactic Legends. That's going to be a lot stronger because they're already kind of overpowered characters anyways. They're going to make... Datacrons will make them even more overpowered. Getting the Attacker Crons with level 6, like I just said, that's going to be the one you want to spam if you have to target one specific one. Tanks and supports are also good, but you don't have to do them. Defense stats, really strong. strong, if you can get a bunch of crons with a ton of defense, the mechanics matter less. Buy a lot of reroll mats with Shard Shop currency, guys. This is going to be a set where you want a ton of rerolls. So many rerolls. 400 rerolls. And I would advise working on this set more than usual, folks, because of how it's relatively important. You want as many crons like this as possible. So that's it for today. I'm going to let you go. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xerath is overwhelmed when he gets back from vacation. Take care, guys.